Hi, my name is Kezia. This is my exhibit, Dimana, Disini, where are we are here. Here are some photos and snippets that I've decided to show you all. So, to give some context to these pieces, I've covered family members and friends who are of Chinese Indonesian descent. I think being Chinese Indonesian in Indonesia is a really interesting experience in the way that because of white colonialization and Dutch colonialization in the islands, divide and conquer tactics were used so that the pecking order would be Dutch folks, then Chinese folks, and then native or pribumi. And I just think that discrepancy really speaks to the dynamics of how politics and societal expectations are playing out, and just seeing how my family personally, who has been in Indonesia for over 100 years and such, still are viewed as outsiders, and what sort of perspectives and values are being passed on through that. So this first piece here is of my great aunt Oma Rena. She's in her home in central Jakarta. I really like this photo just because it highlights little details of her home and her place. She's lived here for over 50 years. This photograph here is of my paternal uncle, Johan. He's here at his exotic fish shop in Bintaro, so that's a bit outside of Jakarta, Indonesia. Um, I really wanted to take as many opportunities as I could to really focus in on place and environment and where people spend their time. So I think juxtaposing really formal dress with a bunch of fish tanks is something that is really interesting to me. This here are also my paternal great aunt and great uncle. So this is Opa Chong and that's Oma Melon. Over here, there are two sons, so Nils and then Hans. Um, so this gallery is also dedicated to my uncle because he recently passed away. So just really focusing and centering on why is it important to showcase this work. I think that there's also like context as well as being Chinese Indonesian in Indonesia and like what discrimination or like what sorts of perspectives you have to navigate through. That's really interesting. So for them to be established and then for her to be so for Oma Melan, for her to be one of the co-founders for the computer science department of like a flagship institution is really cool and really interesting. Sheila, in my paternal grandmother's home, so Oma Titin, I just wanted to juxtapose the space of like my sister, so someone from my generation, sitting in her grandma's house, and it's like, oh, this, what is like familiar and what is different, because our trips back to Indonesia are like far and few between, so it's just like seeing what's changed and what stayed the same. Okay, yeah, last one, the big one. So this is my maternal great aunt, Oma Bombay. Her nickname, that's not her real name, but it's a nickname that her mother gave to her because it's like from the animation Bambi. She also painted this background. It's like of a French mimer who passed away, and then she was like, "Oh, I felt really inspired to do that." So she migrated from Indonesia to Singapore, and it's just like, so then I suppose then she'd be in a similar position to me, of like my family immigrating from Indonesia to the U.S. And it's like, what ties are being held because geographically you're closer, but also like, how have like children grown up different, and like what does it mean to return back to family? Up here are, I guess, like ambiance photos or photos that don't really stick to the main portraiture. Um, so the first one is Oma Bombay's, their, my great uncle's laundry hanging, and just like the sun peeking in. I don't know. I just really like that photo. It wasn't like something I tried or looked for. Kind of wish I took more when I was there, but that's okay. And then the next one is my paternal great uncle, Opa Sim. So he goes in depth, it's in the captions as well, but goes in depth of changing his name and like what does it mean to assimilate from being Chinese to being Indonesian. And his Indonesian means like great old bird. And the bird is like a Garuda bird and it's like a mythical beast. And I suppose that just shows like, oh, what are the conscious choices that people are making as they move to a new place. And the next one is freshwater fish at the fish export shop. And I just like the ripples that the water makes. That's basically it. And then the last one is of my cousin Claire, and then that's in San Diego. This is the most recent photo, the only one that's taken during COVID, and that's basically like what choices is our family making to visit our uncle before he passes away, but also like taking consideration like health and risk and safety. That's it.